Hey folks, AJ here, and we are at Union Branch Baptist Church for install number 15. So let's get the car unpacked and let's get to work. All right, folks, I would recommend that you go ahead and check out the on-site that we did as well as the design because what we're going to be doing is taking this board out, which is the exact same board that Epworth United Methodist had. Take this out. We're going to migrate everything over because it's only 8 channels that they have right now. We're going to connect that to the system. And I think originally they said they wanted to get rid of some of these because the rack mounted X32 has 16 channels. So we're going to be plugging that in. We have the 2 wireless mics. So everything is going to be a direct connection. But what I'm going to do is take out some of the older stuff like the tape deck. That's going away. Honestly, just pulling this out is going to give more than enough space for the rack mount and the mics and everything. But I want to probably take the back off so that the antennas will be exposed. And yeah, let me go from there. All right, now the first thing we're going to do is get the easy stuff out of the way so we have more time to concentrate on the time-consuming stuff. That's mainly just taking down a clock, measuring out where the center of this is going to be, since there's only one PTZ that they're putting in right now. And after that, I'm going to save climbing up in the attic and everything like that to tomorrow. But I want to get all the foundational stuff straight. So we're going to be running, and I'm still debating about if I should switch out their joystick camera controller, that is. I have an old RS-232, the old RS-232 connection. That's what I was thinking about doing. But going to a PoE one will actually make it a lot easier. So if we add another one, all I got to do is run a cable and an Ethernet connection. I think I may do that. So I'll probably keep this joystick and repurpose it for another simpler install, like a 1-camera install. And then put the PoE one because this will save me in the future. Because originally they were going to do 2 cameras, but we did a phased approach for this one. So let me take this down, and then we'll focus on the back room with where the equipment is. Now that was obviously easier than the ones I've done before. Thankfully, it was just that. But the nail is actually center where we need to go. So actually, I'm probably going to go ahead and hang the camera now and just base off of that center position. And then all we got to do now is when we run the cables, 1 Ethernet, 1 HDMI to that. That's it. All right, that was pretty simple. So now let's focus our attention on the media. The sound area. All right, so we got a lot of stuff done so far. We got the old stuff out. I'm getting ready to tape out the tape deck because that obviously is not needed anymore. My question is, when's the last time you found a cassette tape? Blank ones that you can use. So most likely, now not zip tie, but I put duct tape around 2 of the 3 monitor outputs, which were 1/4 inches. And then I actually have some adapters that will convert them over to XLR. I'll probably do that. The other 2 1/4 inches were actually going into this so that it could play stuff to the house. So we don't need that. That's what the computer will be for. So we'll commence to doing all the rest of the stuff. I'm gonna probably put the new mics right there, and we'll go from there. All right, so at this point, I've gotten rid of a lot of the stuff that's not needed here. These volume knobs technically don't need to be there. They're actually not even connected. The Deacon's one is the only one that's connected. I moved up the power switch, and I'm probably going to move up everything just because those mics, the GTV audio mics, have feet on the bottom of them, so it won't let me stack them right beside each other. So putting it right here on the bottom, the feet were going to be hitting the X32. So I'm just going to slide everything up to give me just a little bit more space. Now, the other thing, if we go back here, I ordered some more XLR cables because a lot of these are right angle, and I thought I could open them up and twist them, but I can't. So I just ordered some other ones, and I just have these connected right now to the extensions that were already there. And then I'm gonna get another 8 to connect to the wireless ones that are gonna go. So like I said, that can go away. I just need to figure out how that's wired, and because the control can, I mean, we could rewire it and put it to something different to do that. But what else? I've changed out a lot of the wiring right now. This is not ideal, but they had 2 different connections here to this amp. One was an XLR, the other was a 1/4 inch. So I just converted it over to an XLR. Um, And then I have a long XLR cable right now that I'm trying to test each one of these jacks right now so I can see which is which. All right, so at this point, I'm kind of at a standstill. I want to customize and label all the mics, even though we're going to be adding some more once the other cables get in and I bring the wireless here. But I have no connection. So I need to find where the internet is, run a Ethernet cable over here so that I can connect the PoE switch for the cameras and all that other good stuff. So these restrooms. So I need to find where that is. Now the other thing is we're not putting any other TVs up right now. They did want to have the TV down here connected on the other end. So and I remember when we did this, and again, this is mimicking Liberty Baptist Church, the layout. Now the difference was that was drywall. Over at Liberty, that is brick. So thankfully I don't have to punch through that, but we do need to do a feed down here. So most likely, since the camera is back there right above where we're at, we're gonna have to drill up here some way and feed that down. So we're gonna run 2 cables, one to the camera, and honestly, I'm thinking about putting the HDMI splitter back here. Now, granted, they didn't ask for it, but this is one of those things to make things easier down the road. And I'm trying to sit here and see what's the easiest path to get here. Because we want to run, we want to have this set up in the future. So if they ever decided to add more TVs, all the splitter is here. We just got to run from here to wherever. So I need to figure out how we're going to get through here, because this is, even though the design is the same, it's a tad bit different. Because we came down here and it was a little cubby that would get through here because they put a media booth on the other side of this wall. So trying to think what would be the easiest way to get here, because either way it's going to be a long run. Now, worst case scenario, I could upgrade them and do an SDI cable and just punch a hole on the outside of the wall and run it on the outside of the building. And then we come through here. That's interesting, pastor studies down here. We come through here and then put like the distribution here through the pastor's study, maybe over through the window or something like that. Or actually not through here. Actually, I'm not trying to be all up in this stuff, but just trying to find, could have gone through that closet. But what I'm thinking we can do is run it to where we would come through here. And then that would set us up in the future to where we can just wrap it around here, come through there and put the distribution in here. And then we would run our stuff over here. So what I could still do is use the SDI splitter, the HDMI splitter to go to all the TVs, so we can have fiber HDMI go to everything here. That would make it easy, but we would have one HDMI to SDI, SDI to HDMI converter that would run that distance and be it outside, and then we don't have to worry about doing all this. We just got to punch one hole outside from down here and then another one up there. So that's what I think I'm going to do. Yeah, that's what I think I'm going to do. All right, so I found the router, which is all the way down here. But as you can see, just like I was proposing, that's what they did with the telephone line here and punched out. So that is a lot of brick to go through. Yeah, no matter which way I go, that's a lot to drill through. But we're going to have to do that to send a line straight up to the media area so that we'll have that PoE switch up there. Now I'm wondering, instead of going through there, maybe put a jack down here on the floor and punch through to this room, mainly because the ceiling is not exposed. And I'm wondering, instead of going outside, maybe I could just punch through the floor and because, well, all right, that's Romex running there. I should be able to get over there. The issue is the ceiling is covered over there, but not here. Just trying to think of the easiest path to get there, because that's the kitchen. Don't want to go through there. This is most likely right where the sound, yes it is. This is exactly where the sound is. We're right under that because there are all the speaker cables. So I might not even need to do this. I could probably, it's a lot of stuff in a way, but I can come through that spider web there and run my cable down and then come all the way over to the TV. I don't want to come do that. What is the easiest way to do this? Man, I might have to just come outside and just run around. Because if I'm gonna run a cable, now just trying to wrap my mind around it. The SDI cable outside would be perfectly fine. The cable I have is not meant for outside, and I don't want to run conduit all that way. I might have to. Because if I do it that way, I'm just going to run all the cables at the exact same time and punch through. Yeah, man. So folks, if you're building a building or doing renovation for your church, please think about the path for running Ethernet cables in the wall, because then you won't be doing what I'm doing right now, trying to figure this stuff out. All right, so that is where pastor's office is. And let's find, where was that telephone cable? Oh, I didn't go down far enough. There it is. See, it's punching straight out right here. Now, I know my cable is more durable than that. But let me make sure I'm not in the wrong place when I do that. But we'll come up over here. Media is right here. If this is the network interface, why not just put the router here and run, oh, because it's telephone's there. That's what I was sitting back thinking. That is, I don't have my tools to open that up. So they already got cables like this right now. And that's running up under there. But what type of cable is that? All right, so we got to figure that out. Man. But what I am thinking about doing is the SDI cable will be fine to run here because it's already in the path. I'm just going to run it parallel to this and then come down and we can go in there. That part is fine. Then we just got to figure out what we're going to do with getting the Ethernet there. All right, so since I'm kind of at a standstill right now, what I am thinking about doing is possibly just running these cables into the hole in the floor that's already running the speaker stuff, and maybe just a punchy cable through the wall, and then have it on a conduit right at the ceiling, right above the windows, just going all the way down the line, down into the basement. But might as well go up there and find a place to do the wires for this camera. And I'm not going to be able to come straight down because the electrical outlet is in the way. But I'm going to bring a conduit down to the side to hide the Ethernet and the HDMI cable, because I am going to go ahead and get another. I'm going to go ahead and get an IP joystick just to make this easier in the future. So let's dawn my light and let's see what it looks like up there. You can see my face. You know what we just finished doing. That CSAA ministry. Whew. But we got our cable here. And I see exactly where this is. So I'm gonna need to make another hole to, well, I'm gonna see. I just gotta run the HDMI that's going to the camera in the opposite direction. I'm gonna see if I can squeeze it through here. If not, we'll just make another hole right beside it and then run it up from there. Oh, I wasn't gonna do it till tomorrow, but I'm glad I got it knocked out. So there's our Ethernet cable and HDMI cable. Now the other thing I'm thinking about doing, I pulled my SDI and another Ethernet cable, and I want to see if I can run this down the wall, in the wall, actually make a couple of holes here and fish it down and come through the wall and drill a hole into that plate there. And the idea would be, no, that ain't gonna work, because we're gonna be coming up in the middle here somewhere. Now I guess the other thing I could do is see, the issue is I need to get there. And man, that was my plan. Now the only other thing I could possibly do is make a hole roundabout where this is supposed to be, and then do like a faux vent, and then I can run it straight. That's what I'm thinking. Because I really just need to get on the other side of this, because the SDI cable will go over there. The Ethernet is going to run up and around all the way over there. Man. Now, unless I measure this off and I come down in pastor's office and maybe come over here, kind of like where that spider is, and then come through there. But let me see. I got a phone call. Hold on. All right. Unfortunately, I just got a call that someone had passed, so want me to try and make a slideshow for their funeral. So I need them to get that to me. But what I was saying originally is if I could find and measure off to where I can come down in the wall in pastor's office, maybe that will work. Then we don't have to go outside. We don't have to do anything. The hard thing is trying to line everything up. So I'm gonna have to measure off a whole lot of stuff to make sure we're in line and we're not coming down in the wrong place, because obviously these are the steps. And I'm assuming this is the wall for the sanctuary. No, it's not. The edge of this is. So I would be coming down here somewhere. Yeah, if I can come down in his office, that may work. And then I can avoid coming out through everywhere. And then the Ethernet cable. See, I normally get white cable, and one time I get black cable, this wouldn't work. But if I had a white Ethernet cable, I could just run it through all the way over there. Or worst case scenario. Anyway, we'll figure it out. Let me finish getting the camera terminated, powered up, and put the conduit up there, and then we'll go from there. All right, so the bathroom is sitting on that foundation, so the pastor's office is right under here. So I already got my cables. If I come down here and just find, I'm sure there's a firewall here somewhere, but if we can drop straight down, that may work, and we can avoid going outside and doing everything because the cable has already been ran. So I finished terminating this. Let me hook this up, terminate the other side, make sure we get power, and I have more than enough slack in here. So I'll pull this up and then get it kind of tight, and then we go from there. All right, folks, I think we made good progress today. We got our cables through here. I think we have a plan to get everything downstairs. We got some extra cables to connect everything here. I'll have the wireless mics with me tomorrow, plug that in. We have connection RAN that still needs to be run downstairs for internet. The PTZ is on. I have the cable here. What I'm really thinking about doing is seeing if we can move this table here to right here, and then we wouldn't have to wrap all the way around. But the issue with that would be is if somebody opened the door, the chair would be in the way. But either way, we're gonna have the monitor, got the ATEM set up. I need to pick up a surge protector to go up under the table here. Sound is fine. A couple of the mics I did test are fine. So we're just gonna shut down here, and then we're gonna pick up tomorrow with the main focus being getting the cables through the wall in the back, and then so that we can get everything connected downstairs. Conduit will be there to conceal the cables on the back wall. So we got the cables right there. I already got a piece of conduit to do that. No more journeys up in the attic. Well, let me take that back. We do need to go up, but that's mainly since the pastor's office is right up under here. Again, the goal is to fish our cables through this wall directly down and then split so that the SDI cable goes in this direction, which is where the back of the TV room is, and then the other direction will come down and then into the office to connect to the router down there. And again, I could just run another cable and meet from that room into the back closet, so I wouldn't need to do nothing, because I think I do have some white cable, so that way I can tack it across the back. So let's go down here real quick. So if I run all the cables in the wall here and then run them through to this back room, I can have the HDMI splitter, which reminds me I need to have another surge protector put back here if there's no outlet. Yeah, I gotta do something. I don't see an outlet back here. Yeah, no outlet. So we got to figure out something. But either way, I mean, you never know. Pastor might not mind having that stuff on the shelf if there was an outlet back here on this back wall, which it isn't. So we have to figure that out. But the idea is we'll come through this wall some way. If I can come through here, that would be perfect because we'll just come straight down, wrap it around this corner, punch through the wall, and then everything will be in that part of the room. And then at the same time, I can get that white cable, run it from on that other side of the wall. I can actually put it down low, so it's not a big deal. I can punch it down low, wrap it around. Well, honestly, I might as well stay up high anyway, because I'm already doing that anyway. Come through here, wrap it around, punch through, because this is the closet. Maybe wrap it to, honestly, I probably, if I had enough, I could wrap it all the way around and just go through there. But that's what we got to do tomorrow. Thankfully, the attic stuff is done. So, but there's a plug right here. So that means it's another outlet right here. I mean, worst case scenario, I could just run everything and just have put it on the shelf because, I mean, there's no need for a VCR anymore. So I can set the splitter here or maybe put a rack. I don't know. At least we got plans on the direction that we can work on, and that's what we're going to be working on tomorrow. Link is down below to every single thing that we used in this install, and we will see y'all tomorrow. Later, folks.